Hola amigos! Welcome to this week's episode of Linnea Stella. This week I will be sharing a personal story, something that happened 3 weeks ago now, because everything that happens in life is teaching us something. Everything has a lesson. And this is quite a funny story that also involves manifestation and trust. So let's rewind the tape to 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I was going through quite a lot because the universe only gives you as much as you can handle. But apparently I could handle a lot 3 weeks ago because I had at the same time migraine. I was just about to get my period. So to any feminine here, you know the feeling just before your period. And I was also having a quote-unquote flu. We all know that flu is just another term for spiritual upgrade. I was having a blocked nose, feeling just under the weather, having fever even. And I knew something big was awaiting on the other side of this. Because we only get sick when we get more energy influx, higher frequencies than the system currently can handle. So it's like a hardware upgrade happening. And I also experienced a lot of emotions because the physical body is very closely linked to the emotional body. Everything is energy at the end of the day. So I needed to alchemize and process a lot of emotions. And especially us feminines, we are processing not just for ourselves, our personal stuff, but also for the collective. And we're really here to alchemize and to bring the lower frequencies into higher frequencies. So I knew already on Friday night that this is going to be a weekend where I can just throw my to-do list to the side and just prioritize going within. Because when we feel a lot of emotions and maybe sadness and grief coming up, the way to alchemize that is to be fully present with it. And that's something I learned the hard way after my spiritual awakening, because I used to try to numb myself and distract myself, run away from whatever I was feeling through alcohol or being on my phone, being surrounded by people who weren't a vibrational match. You know, all the things that the Matrix teaches us to do instead of going within, because that's where the true healing and power comes from, when we alchemize the emotions. Anyhow, that Friday night I was exhausted, I was sensitive, and all I wanted was peace and quiet. And of course, the universe felt like testing me. I don't know if I believe in tests from the universe, but my neighbor Leandro, he's usually a very nice neighbor because he's quiet. And a quiet neighbor is a good neighbor. But this particular Friday night, he clearly didn't suffer from migraine because he was throwing a massive party. And they were on the rooftop terrace just above my bedroom, late at night, loud music, lots of people, scraping chairs. So I just felt like, why? Why is this happening right now? And I needed to stand up for myself. So I had already gone to bed when they started. I put on a sweater and I dragged my feet and I walked up to the rooftop. And I was like, hey, Leandro. And with all the patience I could muster, I asked him in Spanish how long they were gonna party for. And he said, just a little while longer, which for Latinos means the whole night, basically. And I felt a little bad because he never makes any noise and they seem to have such a great time. So he told me, we're gonna try to be as quiet as possible. And I was like, fair enough. I admitted defeat. I went back to my bed. And a little grumpy, I was lying in my bed, telling myself, I just want a man to protect me. Because in situations like this, it's not natural for a feminine to go up to a group of drunk people that can potentially be aggressive. And now I know that Leandro, he's a good guy. Like, there wasn't any real danger. But still, to the feminine psyche, it feels unnatural. Like, you don't want to go and defend yourself and potentially upset people who are drunk. And in that moment, I just deeply wished that I had a partner who could come and take care of this for me. But finally, I managed to find sleep with my earplugs. And the following day, I woke up. I was still tired, exhausted. I spent most of the day in bed, processing whatever I needed to process, feeling all the symptoms I needed to feel. And as sunset approached, I just suddenly felt the need to go outside and connect with nature, because nature is my number one way of healing. Just being present with the element, it just does something to you, because we're all part of nature. And so I went to the beach, and by the time I arrived, it had already gotten dark. It was also very cold that weekend, so I had my big white fur, fake fur, and was just walking around there, hiding in my fur, finding a nice spot to sit down. And the moment I sit down, I spot something at the distance driving along the beach. And in Mexico, where I live, this is something completely normal that happens every night as darkness falls. It is the Guardia Nacional, or the military police. They come driving and they look for people selling and buying illicit substances. Let's say it that way for the YouTube algorithm. I'm sure you know what I'm referring to. And then one of them, he jumps off, and the others, they keep driving. I feel that his energy is very kind, like it doesn't feel scary. And he walks up to me and he asks me, "What are you doing here, alone in the dark?" And that's a very good question. Because I guess I was the prime example of what they have learned in their training to look out for. I must have looked very suspicious, sitting there alone with like a big bag, big fur, hiding. So he was kind of checking the temperature, I guess, what I was up to, but I genuinely just wanted to connect with the elements. Which in the society in the Matrix is not considered normal, you know? And I replied that I had just felt under the weather the whole day, and I just really wanted to connect with the elements and the beach and the sea before I went to bed. And he kept asking me where I was from, but not like an interrogation, like it sounds like, but more out of genuine curiosity. And he told me where he was from, another state, and that he was going home soon to visit his family. He also asked if I wasn't missing my family, and I say, yes, I am. And yeah, we kept chatting a little like that, and I actually felt quite relieved to be talking to someone, because I had just been in my own little cocoon processing lower emotions the whole day. And this guy had a very like high energy, and he seemed very like happy and unbothered. And after a while, he asks for my number. And this is just completely unthinkable in Sweden, where I am from, that a police officer on duty would ask for a girl's number. But in Mexico, it's fully legit. It happens all the time. And I told him, well, you're armed, so I guess I have to give you my number. And he points at his gun and he says, "This, it is just to protect you." Mic drop. And I hear God saying to me, "Wasn't this what you were asking for less than 24 hours ago? You asked for a man to protect you. Well, here he is. Congratulations. You manifested your desire." And I was like, oh. Well, technically, yes, I did. That was almost an instant manifestation. So thank you. But this was not really what I referred to. As much as I enjoyed talking to this man, I didn't feel any deeper attraction, so to say. And I felt so clear that this happened to show me, be specific with your manifestation, be really clear about what you want. And I was more so referring to a romantic partner, un esposo. Not a random guy on the beach, but yeah. So I felt like that was a message to all of us. And there was a second very important message in this. And that is that you don't need to chase anything. Whatever is meant for you will find you. Even on a completely deserted beach, in total darkness. When two souls are meant to meet each other, they will meet each other. And this particular soul, I was just meant to meet for a short while for him to teach me these lessons. But the same holds true for your life partner, for your soulmate. They are gonna find you when the timing is right. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to lift a finger. Because your whole life was pre-planned before you incarnated on Earth. Your soul decided exactly what was gonna happen and when. Isn't that just a huge sigh of relief? To really feel into that, to embody that. And I am here talking to you on YouTube because I have made such a huge shift in my life. where I used to be in this state of overthinking, controlling. I even had anxiety and attacks and panic attacks so severe I had to go to the ER once. Because I was trying to control what I was not meant to control. And now, 99% of the time, I am just in this energy of trusting. And I feel it. It's a visceral feeling. It's a knowing from the soul. That my soul, the universe, God, always have my back. And I can just be in the passenger seat and take inspired action. For example, recording this video, I am doing something, I am taking action, but I'm not doing it from a fear-based place, from a place of FOMO. And just a few days before this happened, I had fallen out of this trust because I am human and I can also fall into doubt and getting back into the state of overthinking. And more specifically, I felt like maybe I should socialize a little more. Maybe I should attend more events because there are many nice events where I live and many opportunities to meet new people. And I don't have a lot of people. I don't have a big crowd here. I'm very happy with my friend Anastasia, who I usually hang out with. And yeah, we talk about these deeper things that are very satisfying for the soul. And that's the only thing that interests me. I prefer to be on my own than to hanging out with people just to not be alone. Because I actually feel more alone if it's people who are not on my frequency. And this is not a judgment to people. It's just that we're all on different frequencies. But I have fallen into this FOMO. I had attended an event where my intuition told me, you're not going to enjoy this event. You are not going to resonate with the people there. You're not going to have a great time, so don't go. But I was in FOMO. So FOMO told me, go, go, go. You're going to miss something if you don't go. So I went, and what do you think happened? I didn't enjoy it, didn't have a good time, didn't resonate with the people, and asked myself, what on earth am I doing here? Well, fear brought me there. And this can also be true sometimes about meeting a romantic partner, because I am very at peace with my life. I'm very happy. In many aspects, I am living my dream life. I'm having such a great and fulfilling life. And a big part of that is being here talking to you. I'm just so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you for being here, especially when you leave little comments in the comment section. Blink, blink, feel free to do so right now. Because I just love to talk to you about these real things, these deep things. And when you have a very full life, you are not in this energy of chasing and wanting something from the outside to fulfill you. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I want a partner, I need a partner. But of course, it is natural as a human being to want to connect and to want to be in partnership eventually. But I also know intuitively that now is not really the time. But when I fall into that FOMO 1% of the time, I think, oh, I need to go to all these events. Maybe I should go out to bars, even though I'm not even drinking. Maybe I should go into dating apps, even though I really don't resonate with a commoditization of love that dating apps provide. If you do, it's all good. It's just, it doesn't resonate with me. And we all have to do what resonates with ourselves, with our souls. But as this man came to me on the beach and he couldn't even see my body, I had this big baggy fur. He couldn't see my face. He was just drawn to my energy. I realized, well, this is gonna happen also with my partner. He is gonna find me. It doesn't matter where I am. I can just go about my life, follow my intuitive nudges, and everything that is meant for me will find me. So that was a beautiful, beautiful lesson that this man came to deliver to me on a deserted beach in the dark. Or actually 2 lessons. Be specific with your manifestations, and whatever is meant to find you will find you, even in complete darkness. So remember that your soul planned the perfect life for you. And before we wrap up for today, I know that energies are crazy right now in the world. And that is not because there is more darkness coming in, as many people seem to think. No, it is because the frequency of Mother Earth, of Gaia, is becoming so high, largely thanks to people like you, who are breaking free from the programming and starting to live from a higher frequency, from the frequency of the soul. And it's becoming so high that all these lower vibrations of fear and control and greed and evil, they can't be here anymore. They can't stay, so they are purging, because they can't just evaporate, they need to purge. And unfortunately, the purges can be very violent, very painful, and It's very intense right now. So I ask yourself to protect your nervous system, because the Matrix wants us in a dysregulated nervous system state. It wants you to be constantly scared, to fear the people next to you, because when you are in the frequency of fear, you are disconnected from your power. And we have so much power. The real power aren't in the people who are out there flexing their muscles, taking out others. No, the real power is in your heart. And they know it. And that's why they want us in the frequency of fear. And I know that you know this is just a reminder, because sometimes, just like I fell into the FOMO, we can fall into fear. And we can feel like things are just getting worse and worse. But remember, it's just the darkness purging. Because we are becoming too powerful. The dark cannot stay. And we are here to recreate heaven on earth, to bring humanity back to love. So please help out in whatever way you feel called, whatever way comes naturally to you. Because your soul came here at this pivotal point in time, because you are a part of the solution. You are a part of bringing back heaven on earth. But to be able to do so, it is important to take care of your nervous system. And there is actually a part 3. There is a third lesson from the encounter with this mystical man at the beach that I'm gonna share next week. So just a little cliffhanger. If you want to hear that episode, you can click the subscribe button below. We have so much more to talk about too. But before we part ways today, I want to give you a little something for the nervous system. If you just like me feel like, whoa, the energies are very intense right now. So proudly presenting one of my new crystal balls. Isn't it just perfect? So this is not just a spiritual tool, it is actually physically shifting your brainwave state. So you're about to get hypnotized. No, but it's really cool because everything is energy. And this is a specific frequency that really helps the body to heal itself. And it helps the nervous system to get into a calmer state. How do you feel? I feel like it shifted something inside of me, just this micro sun bath. And I don't take this for granted. I am so grateful to have access to these tools that are so needed for us to stay in our power when everything is trying to get us out of our power. I'm so grateful for my crystal balls, for all the other tools I have, for the amazing humans I'm surrounded by who get these things. For example, you. Gratitude is also a very empowering frequency to be in. Whenever it feels genuine, step number one is always to put out the fires, which is to alchemize the emotions you're going through. But when you are in a more neutral state, gratitude is such a powerful thing to incorporate into your day. It sounds simple, but the simple things are often the most efficient. So let me know if today's video resonated with you or not. It really genuinely makes my day to talk to you in the comments, so don't be shy. And I hope that you hit the little subscribe button there so that we can hang out next week, because yeah, I have a part 2 about what happened with a mystical man on the beach that is closely related to the nervous system, and that is quite personal too, so you don't want to miss this. Have an amazing week until then, and see you soon.